Michael Jordan's Muddies was turned away from Valora, sparking a revolution in luxury retail and igniting a movement that challenges elitism and redefines dignity. This is the riveting story of Mama Jordan's quiet strength and Michael Jordan's unyielding determination, a journey where one act of rejection becomes the catalyst for a global fight for justice. What happens next will shock you, inspire you, and leave you questioning the true meaning of luxury. Presented by Stories of Justice, your home for untold stories of resilience and transformation. If you're moved by this tale, please like, subscribe, and comment below to join the conversation. In a world where first impressions often hold more sway than inner worth, one dignified woman's encounter at a high-end boutique ignited a transformation that would soon reverberate across the globe. Michael Jordan's mother, a strong, resilient woman who had weathered countless storms, found herself turned away from one of Crestwood's most exclusive luxury stores, Valora. What was meant to be a special day of indulgence and self-reward quickly turned into an incident laden with subtle snobbery. That seemingly trivial moment of rejection set in motion events destined to alter the face of high-end retail forever. She had envisioned this outing as a rare treat, a chance to step into a world she had only ever admired from afar. A deserved reward after a lifetime of grit, sacrifice, and unwavering grace. Mama Jordan, as she would later be affectionately known by those who recognized her inner strength, had long yearned for a taste of luxury after years of persevering against life's hardships. Clad in simple yet neat attire, a pair of well-worn sneakers, comfortable jeans, and a soft, understated top, she radiated authenticity and unyielding determination. For decades, she had poured her heart into raising her children and building a life that many admired from the outside. As a young widow, she had taken on odd jobs, cleaning homes and sewing late into the night to keep food on the table, all the while teaching her children the importance of perseverance. Yet despite her many accomplishments and the deep love that buoyed her spirit, society's unspoken judgment of appearances had often reminded her that outward looks could be deceiving. She recalled a painful memory from her youth, standing outside a department store as a teenager, clutching a few dollars while being shooed away because of her patched dress. Now, many years later, she dared to hope that perhaps this time she might be granted entry into the luxurious realm she had long admired. That fateful day, Mama Jordan set her sights on Valora, a luxury store renowned for its impeccable selection, celebrity clientele, and an atmosphere that reeked of exclusivity. Nestled in the heart of Pine Haven Heights, Valora was celebrated as a palace of extravagance, a sanctuary where movie stars, moguls, and trendsetters came to indulge in the finest fashions and accessories. Its polished facade, glimmering windows, and ornate gold-accented entrance promised not merely products, but a glimpse into a world of sophistication and elevated status. Over the years, friends had recounted the marvels of velvet-lined dressing rooms, chandeliers dripping with crystals, and secret corners hidden from prying eyes. Brimming with hope, and armed with a smile that belied the weight of past rejections, she approached the grand entrance, her heart full of quiet anticipation. Inside Valora, the air was thick with a tradition of exclusivity. A tall, sharply dressed doorman named Elton was entrusted with the responsibility of upholding the store's legacy. Raised in a strict household, where every detail of one's appearance was believed to define status, Elton scrutinized every visitor with a practiced, almost mechanical precision. He weighed each customer's attire and demeanor against an unspoken standard of opulence that had been instilled in him from an early age. On that particular day, as Mama Jordan neared the entrance, his courteous smile quickly dissolved into an expression of fond condescension. Without a hint of empathy, he stepped forward, and in a tone as measured as it was dismissive said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we're closed for a private event today, and may I suggest you try one of the tourist shops down the boulevard?" His words, wrapped in an air of superiority, struck a deep chord within her, reopening the wounds of countless past rejections. It was a harsh reminder that, despite her inner strength, the world was still inclined to judge her by superficial markers. This painful encounter resonated far beyond the store's ornate walls. Back in a sleek, sunlit office, far removed from the glittering avenues of Pine Haven Heights, Michael Jordan was immersed in a strategic meeting, known not only for his legendary basketball career and larger-than-life persona, but also for his unwavering respect for his humble beginnings. Michael had grown up witnessing his mother's struggles firsthand. He remembered how, as a young boy, he watched his mother mend their clothes with a determined smile and laugh off the landlord's threats when the rent was overdue. That very evening, during a late-night phone call, he sensed an unusual sorrow in her gentle voice, a sorrow laced with memories of rejection and a persistent reminder of how society had once again chosen appearances over essence. I just couldn't shake the feeling that, even after all these years, I'm still being judged by how I look rather than who I am, she confessed softly, her tone both reflective and wistful. She added, I wanted to bring you back something nice, Michael, something to show how far we've come. In that moment, as Michael listened intently, memories of his own formative years flooded back. The sting of being underestimated and the weight of low expectations converged into a singular promise made long ago. It was a promise he had vowed as a boy to shield his mother from a world that too often diminished her worth. With that promise echoing in his mind, Michael's expression transformed from gentle concern into resolute determination. Ma, you deserve so much better, he declared, his voice imbued with both warmth and unwavering conviction. I'm going to fix this. No one should ever feel less than what they truly are, and I'm not going to stand by while the world tells you otherwise. Leaning back in his chair, he began to plot a course of action that would not only redress the personal wrong done to his mother, but also challenge an entire industry's entrenched preconceptions about luxury, worth, and dignity. Within hours, Michael's inner circle was mobilized into action. His trusted assistant, Malik, a sharp-minded individual who had risen from the same streets Michael once roamed, dove into public records and painstakingly pieced together every detail about Valora. Malik's research uncovered a fascinating yet infuriating truth. Although Valora was owned by a storied company with a legacy spanning over a century, the actual building was controlled by an offshoot firm with deep roots in the opulent enclaves of Lyrical. This revelation confirmed what Michael had long suspected. The store's aura of exclusivity was built on a foundation of deliberate exclusion, a system designed to turn away those deemed unfit. With his eyes alight with resolve, Michael mulled over his options. I want to make an offer on that building, he instructed Malik. Let's hit them where it hurts, their pride and their pocket. As the first light of dawn broke over Crestwood, Michael Jordan began executing a series of bold, calculated moves that would soon send shockwaves through the luxury retail world. International calls were made, secret meetings were convened behind closed doors, and what began as a personal act of filial love quickly evolved into a transformative business venture. Despite facing resistance, boardroom executives scoffing at the idea of a basketball legend meddling in their domain, Michael outmaneuvered his detractors with a blend of charm, savvy, and deep personal conviction. In his characteristically focused yet authoritative style, he explained to his team, back when I was grinding on the court, I learned that the world doesn't always give you a fair shot. But if you stay true and never lose sight of who you are, you can change the game. My mama taught me that dignity is more than skin deep, and now it's time the rest of the world learned that too. Thus a revolutionary decision was made. Michael Jordan would acquire Valora, not as a mere business venture, but as a statement of bold protest against elitism and an inspiration for social change. After weeks of tense negotiations, the purchase was finalized, and Michael embarked on an ambitious journey to reimagine the storied luxury boutique. This grand transformation was christened the Mama Project, a heartfelt tribute to the countless mothers who had faced rejection and adversity with grace and resilience. In collaboration with advisors ranging from celebrated fashion gurus to influential community leaders, a new vision was forged, one that celebrated both quality and compassion. Although Valora would continue to offer the same high-end products its patrons had come to expect, it would now operate under a radically new philosophy of inclusivity and respect. In a groundbreaking move, 20% of all profits were now earmarked for community initiatives dedicated to supporting single parents and their children, a symbolic nod to the untold sacrifices of everyday heroes. Alongside this, a special section of the store was unveiled, known as the Community Collection. Here, select luxury items were offered at reduced prices exclusively to community servants, teachers, nurses, first responders, social workers, and others whose contributions often went unrecognized. Internally, every employee underwent rigorous retraining, ensuring that no customer would ever be made to feel unwelcome or inferior based solely on their appearance or financial standing. Michael Jordan himself attended the inaugural training session, sharing personal stories that underscored the importance of empathy and understanding. Word of Michael Jordan's bold move spread like wildfire, from the glittering avenues of Pine Haven Heights to the vibrant streets of Oak Ridge. Debates ignited in glossy fashion magazines, while boardroom discussions erupted nationwide. Some hailed the initiative as a long-overdue revolution in luxury retail. Others dismissed it as little more than a publicity stunt. Rivals in Eldora sneered, predicting that Valora's elite clientele would abandon the store. Yet Michael confidently bet on a different crowd, those who craved meaning behind their money and believed that true luxury was not defined solely by price tags, but by the spirit of inclusion. For countless individuals who had been judged solely on appearances, the Mama Project was nothing short of transformative. Letters of gratitude and testimonials poured in from people who had been turned away elsewhere, celebrating their newfound recognition and the promise of dignity restored. On the day of the grand reopening, an eclectic crowd gathered outside the newly transformed Valora. Limousines parked alongside modest cars, and a red carpet, now uniquely adorned with chalk drawings from local schoolchildren, stretched out as a welcoming pathway for all. Mama Jordan arrived in a simple yet elegant black dress, her silver hair worn proudly as a symbol of a life filled with trials and triumphs. She shone with quiet brilliance as she stepped onto the red carpet. Her presence was met not with sneers or dismissive glances, but with genuine smiles, warm embraces, and heartfelt applause. A little girl ran forward, eagerly handing her a daisy, which Mama Jordan tucked behind her ear with a gentle laugh that spoke volumes of her enduring spirit. Inside Valora, the transformation was palpable and multifaceted. While the store retained its traditional layout to honor its rich heritage, subtle yet significant new elements signaled a fundamental shift in philosophy. A graceful spiral staircase led to a second-floor gallery dedicated exclusively to the community collection. Here, luxury items were intermingled with stories of resilience and hope, handwritten notes from teachers, photographs of firefighters in action, and testimonials that underscored the triumph of the human spirit. Modernized displays and innovative designs created an environment that was both lavish and inviting, encouraging dialogue between patrons from all walks of life. Simultaneously, the internal retraining sessions had instilled in every employee a renewed commitment to courteous, empathetic service. Now, a torn jacket was greeted with the same warmth as a tailored suit, a small but powerful symbol of the store's transformed ethos. During the reopening ceremony, the elegant showroom was filled with an atmosphere of anticipation and quiet celebration. As the crowd settled, Michael Jordan took to the stage in a perfectly tailored suit that seamlessly blended his iconic athletic style with refined contemporary elegance. With his unmistakable gravitas, he addressed the assembled guests. Ladies and gentlemen, today isn't just about luxury, it's about respect. It's about understanding that true worth isn't measured by price tags or appearances, but by the love, effort, and hard work that each one of us contributes to this world. His voice resonated as he recounted the painful incident when Mama Jordan was turned away from Valora, a moment that had reopened the wounds of past rejections and spurred him to action. He continued, "I remember saving every penny I had just to buy my mama something special. I walked into a fancy store in Bayview, wearing a suit that was far from perfect and sneakers that had seen better days. They shut me out, just like they did to her. That day, I made a promise that I'd never let anyone feel that hurt again. And today, we're making that promise a reality." The audience, captivated by his heartfelt words, responded with a swell of applause and nods of understanding that rippled through the room. Following his stirring address, Michael Jordan unveiled his master plan for the reborn Valora. He detailed how the store would continue to offer its traditional high-end luxury products at premium prices, while a portion of every sale would directly fund community programs. His team had forged partnerships with local nonprofits, ensuring that the funds would reach real hands in need. He stressed that the community collection was not about diminishing the brand's prestige, but about sharing the brilliance of high fashion with those who had contributed to the community in immeasurable ways. "We're keeping the shine," he declared, "but we're sharing the light." As his words echoed in the elegant hall, the event became a living celebration of transformation and inclusion. Among the attendees were not only celebrities and business moguls, but everyday heroes, teachers, nurses, first responders, and social workers, all united by a common belief that every individual deserved to feel valued. Even Con Eldon, the once condescending doorman, now greeted each guest with a genuine warmth and a quiet humility. His earlier arrogance had given way to sincere remorse, a transformation deepened by his own month-long community service stint at a local shelter, where he had come face to face with the struggles of those he had once judged. In another corner of Valora, Laya, a young sales associate, whose quiet reservations about the store's elitist practices had long simmered beneath the surface, stepped confidently into a leadership role. Appointed as the head of the newly established Dignity Committee, she oversaw the revamped customer service protocols, ensuring that every visitor felt genuinely welcome. Drawing upon memories of her immigrant aunt's struggles in high-end establishments, Laya's approach was both practical and deeply personal. Her guidance introduced fresh anecdotes and innovative exercises that reshaped how the staff interacted with every customer, reinforcing the belief that true luxury lay in the respectful treatment of all. Later that day, the impact of the Mama Project became undeniable. Social media exploded with stories of transformation, videos and photos of Mama Jordan laughing with a little girl on the red carpet, heartfelt testimonials from customers who had once felt invisible, and shared messages of hope that transcended the boundaries of luxury retail. Inside Valora, a middle-aged woman, dressed in modest clothing, confided in Michael Jordan as she selected a delicate silk scarf from the community collection. "This isn't just fabric," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "It's a reminder that I matter." In a personal gesture, Michael handed her a card for a free coffee, a small act that encapsulated the store's new philosophy of personal connection. As weeks turned into months, the ripple effects of the Mama Project spread far beyond the walls of Valora. Other luxury retailers began to take notice. In Zephyr, for example, one rival boutique introduced a hero's rack, while business journals across the nation chronicled the impressive financial uplift that accompanied the store's renewed commitment to inclusivity. Conferences invited Laya to speak on ethical retail practice, and local schools began to study the project as a pioneering example of blending profit with purpose. In a memorable twist, a renowned Parisian designer even called Michael Jordan late one night, inspired to rethink his next collection after hearing about the innovative changes at Valora. Never one to rest on his laurels, Michael Jordan soon expanded his vision. He launched the Dignity Foundation, a philanthropic arm dedicated to transforming spaces where prejudice had once reigned. With an initial funding of $100 million, the foundation set out to replicate the success of the Mama Project across various industries, from luxury hotels and fine dining establishments to exclusive clubs and entertainment venues. True to his commitment, Michael even hired ex-cons and single mothers to manage the foundation, ensuring that those who had been marginalized now had a stake in the movement for change. Critics still emerged from time to time, questioning whether the fusion of luxury with social responsibility could truly be profitable or sustainable. Some opined that the initiative was nothing more than a fleeting marketing gimmick. However, as the months passed, evidence of transformation grew undeniable. Sales at Valora continued to soar. Customer loyalty deepened, and the store's internal culture evolved into a vibrant testament to respect and inclusion. Even a rival CEO, visiting incognito, left Valora with not only a luxurious scarf, but also a transformed perspective on the value of dignity. During a live broadcast on a popular morning show, Michael Jordan and Mama Jordan appeared via video link from Crestwood. When the interviewer pressed them on whether the Mama Project was merely a publicity stunt, Michael responded with characteristic candor. "If spreading the word about dignity and respect makes some noise, then so be it. At the end of the day, if our story can help even one person feel like they belong, every bit of this hustle was worth it." Mama Jordan added softly, "I've lived a life full of ups and downs, and I've seen how a kind word or a simple act of respect can change someone's world." This isn't about money. It's about heart. Her gentle smile silenced the doubters, and soon viewers called in with tearful messages of gratitude and hope. In the ensuing months and years, Valora's transformation under the Mama Project continued to flourish. New locations opened in cities such as Stonegate, Haruki, and Zephyr, further extending the project's influence. Fashion schools began incorporating courses on ethical design and inclusive retail practices, while established designers drew inspiration from the initiative to create collections that bridged the gap between high fashion and everyday wear. A documentary aired, tracing the roots of the Mama Project back to Mama Jordan's first carefully stitched seam, inspiring communities and young entrepreneurs alike. On the anniversary of the grand reopening, Valora hosted an extravagant celebration attended by former critics, loyal patrons, and even rival retailers who had come to witness the profound impact of the Mama Project firsthand. In a grand hall, adorned with elegant floral arrangements, ambient lighting, and reflective moments, Michael Jordan took to the stage once again, with Mama Jordan seated proudly by his side. He recounted the transformative journey from rejection to revolution. "We started with a closed door," he proclaimed, his voice resonant with both pride and emotion. "And today, that door is open to everyone. This isn't just about luxury. It's about love, respect, and the power of a promise kept." As he raised a glass in tribute to his mother's quiet dignity, the crowd responded with a standing ovation, each clap a testament to the enduring spirit of change. In the quieter moments, behind the scenes, away from the cameras and clamor of celebration, Mama Jordan and Michael shared tender, reflective conversations. "You done good, baby," Mama Jordan whispered, her eyes reflecting both a lifetime of wisdom and a deep, abiding love. "I always knew you had it in you to change the world, just like you promised." With a warm embrace, Michael replied, "Nah, Ma, I couldn't have done it without you. Every struggle, every closed door made me who I am. Today, we're not just opening a store, we're opening hearts, pains, and futures." The legacy of the Mama Project soon transcended the boundaries of luxury retail. It evolved into a symbol of resilience, transformation, and the belief that every human being deserves to be seen for who they truly are. As everyday heroes stepped into a space that celebrated their worth, be they janitors, teachers, or business tycoons, the world took a giant leap toward a future where dignity, compassion, and inclusion reigned supreme. From community centers and schools to government offices and hospitals, the principles of the Mama Project reshaped entire industries and touched countless lives. Murals of Mama Jordan adorned small towns. A local library in Stonegate proudly dedicated a Mama Jordan corner filled with free books and stories of hope. Even a farmer in Haruki wore a Valora tie to his daughter's wedding, beaming with pride. In the end, the story of Michael Jordan's mother and the Mama Project is one of enduring transformation and the unyielding power of the human spirit. Born from a single act of rejection, it blossomed into a powerful movement that redefined luxury as a fusion of quality craftsmanship and shared humanity. Every day, as Valora's doors remain open for all, welcoming, inclusive, and resplendent, with the promise that every individual is worthy of respect, the legacy of Mama Jordan continues to remind us that true luxury is not measured by what we wear, but by how we treat one another. This tale, woven through decades of struggle, triumph, and love, stands as a testament to the idea that every setback can become a stepping stone toward a brighter future. It is a story of a mother's quiet dignity, a son's fierce determination, and a world that, once so focused on superficial judgments, is learning to embrace the true essence of humanity. As each new day dawns over Crestwood and beyond, the Mama Project remains a beacon, a living, breathing reminder that when we open our hearts and extend respect to every soul, we transform not only a single boutique, but the very fabric of society.